How are you, Daniel? It's been a while since I have met you on a meeting.
Yeah, no, we've been on some. I just, kind of been staying in the background because, I'm not as technically advanced in these areas. So, but contribute as where I can.
You've always been a solid contributor and participant in many of the, I think way until earlier this year you've been doing that. So no, I just haven't seen you on a meeting in a while. That's primarily because
Oh,
I don't get to join a lot of the meetings that happen late into my night. So
right. Makes sense. Yep.
I'm seeing Mr. Bockenheimer more often as well, Sankarshan, and it's great to see you. Where you been hiding, Dan?
Yeah, just the company stuff comes first. So, been
Exactly.
hiding with clients, I guess, the few that we deal with.
Yeah, it's a natural thing. We see that at IRA a lot.
Yeah.
So, Sankarshan, great article. I have gone through it at the for beginning. I have it written stored for a deeper read.
well, I'm happy that you liked it.
Yeah, look, you and Tim have caused some thinking to happen. Damn it. Do you know what we're talking about, Dan?
I'm not positive.
There's a
Uh,
couple of articles that drop. I'll share the Sankarshan nicely has the pointers to the article, but Tim Boma released a couple of articles in the last few days that have been really good. It's actually were
okay.
and they're just really interesting in the ways of ways to think. So you might want to take a look. I just shared the link. So, but
Okay.
Sankarshan
Yeah,
did
we'll
that
do.
was a pretty fast response, Sankarshan.
How hidden livers.
To Tim's article, actually, no. I mean, I think I've been kind of trying to find a mental frame in which to actually see the topic, and then Tim's articles landed back to back. And I was like, hang on,
Okay, so
this makes
good.
much
So
sense.
yeah, I looked at the length, and again, I haven't done a deep read of yours. I was like, okay, something happened because this was not a I threw this together in an hour type of an article. So, but
So
I'm
quite a
excited.
few folks have told me that I shouldn't be writing text pieces this long, but that's okay. I mean, what can I
Yeah,
do?
well, yeah, they want snack size thinking, so let them go on Twitter and YouTube. Don't listen to them, man. We need long form writing. It's a good way to think. So, Carly, hello there.
Hello there.
I'm just gonna share. I don't think you would have seen the link. I just sharing it there. I'll share it in the
Oh yeah, that's Sankershan's thing. The only reason I'm like, oh, it's really long. The only thing that matters is for me to do. First of all, welcome to the age of social media. My attention span is dropping, but also it's hard for me to find time in the day to
yeah.
read the whole thing because I'm like, I have 5 minutes before a meeting. I can, find another topic and just, I have these things kind of bookmarked and open about a concept I want to investigate more. And that's the only, so
Yeah.
Sankershan, I would totally take what you have and then use an AI or something in order to split it out into single idea chunks and be like, hey, you're busy people. Here's one idea
Yeah.
at a time.
I'll take that
Yeah.
as a feedback and try to do it myself for the for the coming post that I have.
Yeah, I'm fine. This is also, I think, your timing of for both you and Tim has been fantastic in that, at least for me, this is a time when starting next week as things get quiet. Like I'm
Mm.
not generally taking meetings over the holidays. I'm working, but it's also a time to literally sit back with coffees and not get jacked on the endorphins and whatever the hell social media does to us. And digest. And this is it's fantastic. I'm quite excited by these sets of articles. Drummond is almost violently opposed to the phrase things in control. He wants it as things under control. If you've read the articles, I'm like, it's a really weird term that Tim uses, but I know Tim really well. I'm like, there's no way he did that unintentionally. So I'm like, no, it's a pretty good term. So I'll see Drummond tonight. John Jordan we're doing the annual sort of Christmas meeting at John Jordan's house. To see John for dinner tonight and at his house tomorrow. So it'll be good. But today is a quiet trust registry task force day, an exciting day because the article is coming out that's announcing the public review. So there is actually, I did want to actually raise one small, tiny PR. Actually, I just realized I didn't even put it in as a PR, so bear with me. There were two mistakes. One is Sebastian's last name was missing, and the issues were not listed. I'll show you what I mean in just a moment. I was going to jump into the docs. I'm gonna light up a few things here and jump around if you don't mind. Uh, but it should be relatively short, meaning unless there's new topics we want to cover off. Which, again, I think the article from Sangashan is a great freaking topic myself. Okay, share. So, as we know, antitrust thing. Anybody new here? I'm not seeing any brand new people. Nope, cool. But if I go to the actual thing itself, load up the spec. There's two things here. Yeah, I've got a pull request that adds Sebastian's last name. He's not a one name person. And this is there are no GitHub issues listed. That is simply because of a mistake here. See how it says trust over IP account? That's supposed to be account trust over IP. So if everyone's okay, I don't see anyone why wouldn't. I'll put a PR in and I'll get Drummond or to merge that in later today so that's when people hit it. I might even just force approve it myself so that when people hit it when the blog post hits that those two little issues are handled. Does anybody see any issues with that?
Yeah,
Hearing
that's
none.
good. That's good.
It's just tiny last minute cleanup and then we let it sit for 30 days. So January 10 will be the review period. When it ends, we're just going to grow that. Um, Assuming that the article comes out today, which I can't see why not. The LFTT has been really nice and fast on responding. Emily and Tomas and Daniela have been involved, and we appreciate how fast they've been on that. Other than that, it's a thought of considering becoming a trust review task force chair, and I would throw that especially out to anyone at APAC, Segishan, um, who wants to help take on some of the co-chair. Andor definitely needs to move on. I have to talk with Auntie. Auntie has, as we may know, he hasn't been around for quite some time. He's doing other things. But find out if he wants to, come back in as a coach, remain as a co-chair, or just move on. But we want to make sure that we people have an opportunity to help lead. I will continue to be on, um, if everyone's okay with that. The trust registry query protocol is really lighting up immense interest. And I'm quite pleased about that. It's going to need nurturing and care and inputs from industry and stuff like that. But just food for thought. What else would we like to cover off today? Anyone?
Uh, just to be clear, this is the last one before the holidays kick in, right?
That's a good item. Actually, I did put that in Discord. That's another item that, yeah, I don't see a reason why we need another one until the new year, until after well, whatever the timing is. I'll take a look at the calendar. What is that? January 8th. So just before January 8th. I will get a hold of I think it's Carly, is it Emily that does the calendar?
I always send it into support at Linux Foundation. And then
At,
it
at Linux,
and it's
that Linux
or
Foundation?
I have to double check
Okay.
exactly.
Okay. Cool. So I'll do that. Yeah. Unless some people think we need a meeting, and we may find, for example, during the public review period that we get things get spicy, and we can just do an ad hoc meeting if we need to. But I imagine it's going to be a relatively quiet period.
Put it in the chat. It's lfdecentralizedtrust.org.
Okay. I gotta find Zoom again. Chat.
I suppose there's not a lot of contentious things in the spec. Do you really anticipate things to get hot during the public review?
In some ways, no, but other ways, yes. The reason I say that is, um, the action resource change that we made is substantive in the following. We had assertion ID or whatever it was. Now it's two fields, and it's a mental shift. We had last week before, in the last couple of weeks, we had yeah, last week, Alex from Checked and Cosmin from Affinity were weighing in on concerns that it wasn't meeting the needs of agentic AI. I imagine we'll have similar, but what we found was, and this is what I found, I resisted, like when Drummond and Andor dropped this park thing, I'm like, guys, we're making a last minute change. This had better be a damn good reason. Um, because you don't want to do that. I found it it took a bit of a brain shift, but then it worked. So it might have a feeling will be more education than, hey, we need to rethink things. But it's got thing I wouldn't be surprised if some outside if folks who have not been watching have difficulty with that. But that I think is a great thing. It's more of an implementation guidance, more of a, hey, here's what I have to teach people. Um, but it could be, who knows?
I don't know. I thought this was going to be smooth sailing.
I believe it will be. I believe it will be. I wouldn't be surprised if it took some massaging of the message or something or additional information to help people understand why we're using this action resource concept. Because even people who are quite close to it have struggled, myself included.
And you might get
I don't,
people who think the whole thing should be rethought, who are seeing it for the first time and say, no, I have a better idea.
well, we've had that a few
Yeah.
times. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's one
I
of the
mean,
reasons why we have
if there's
Turtle.
a radically better idea, then in true tradition of open source, one can fork the
Yep.
spec and build one's own.
That's the yep. Totally agreed. And that's the um
That's the answer.
that's the answer. It's also the friction, the good friction, the healthy friction that says, do you really mean it? If you do, step up. Awesome.
Mm.
And we'll be stronger for it. That's awesome. It's the snipers who just throw comments that get more
Then,
under my skin. If you're gonna do the work, hey, awesome. I'll help. If you want to snipe, good luck.
thank you. That's the term. I have seen the snipers, and now I'm like, oh, that's because they show up, they blow it up, and then they leave.
And they don't do anything. That's what drives
Yeah.
me nuts. It's like, listen, if you're gonna contribute, contribute. But it's
Hmm.
it's very easy to talk, as I know I talk too damn much. But to do the work and to understand the whys and what's behind it, and again, back to the beginning of the conversation here, the article that Sankarshan wrote, I was happy to hear Sankarshan say that it was not a off the cuff article. It was something that Tim's, for those who I'll put that in the link again, because anyone who's wondering what I'm talking about just joined wouldn't have seen it because Zoom doesn't keep a history of chat. There's a series of articles that have come along, and where seems to be some good thinking is aligning. And I'm happy to hear that Tim's article was a catalyst for Sankarshan throwing out a pretty heavyweight article that's on my reading list for the next couple weeks.
And
But I'm
Daryl,
looking forward to.
I put the chat GPT summary of the article in the chat as well.
I
And
will. I will. You need someone to chew your food, Dan?
you know what? Thank you, Dan. As soon as I see that thing about ownership versus control, So
Yeah.
if you remember from the FEM's presentation and ecosystem and governance working group meeting at the beginning of the year, they have an ecosystem of data ecosystem following EU standards, and there is no data owner in that. It is only the data controller. So, and we discussed this as well in my work, because also indigenous data, you also couldn't be the data controller. You are at best the data steward. You can assist the community in making decisions, but they are the ones in control, and you are stewarding it on their behalf until the day they take the stewardship over. So, yeah, because indigenous data is a whole other thing.
Yeah, I'm in BC, and yeah, land rights as well.
Yeah.
So, yep. But no, but it's nice to see the things. And it would be. I'm really curious to see what happens. It'd be nice to, I would rather we have, which we found last public review, we got more attention than we thought we would. And that's just the nature of other people in other spaces who are not close to the cross IP work. Wait for public reviews to actually look at anything. It's just they can't keep up. They got too many things on their plate. Dan, you would understand that well. Yeah, that's right. See, you have a list of things you can do, but when things get busy, that list gets shorter. Simple as that. That's just the nature of high caliber work. So, but yeah, I mean, if there's anything else, folks, we can cover through. Otherwise, we can give back 45 minutes of our day. What do we think?
I'll take that 45 minutes thing.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Perfect.
Excellent.
Yep.
Awesome.
See everybody.
Well, congrats, folks, on getting this thing out. And let's well, if we don't see each other, well, we won't. I'll put a note in to remove the meetings for the remainder of the year. If we don't see each other in any of your venues, have a happy holiday season and happy New Year, and see you in 2026. Look at you. You got like, is it a tea or is that like a glue vine type thing
Oh,
going on
sorry,
like
that's
that?
that would be nice if it were glue wine. It's just tea.
Okay. Okay.
But don't forget at 11 o'clock is Ecosystem and Governance, our last presentation of the year with Andy Woodruff
In 40 minutes.
in 40 minutes.
I thank you for reminding me because I've got to travel today. I'm incredibly busy. But I should probably show up to that because I'm on the board of that thing.
Good.
That would
Yeah.
be a good idea.
Yeah. I should support Andy on that one. So yeah, perfect.
Yeah.
All right.
Awesome. Thanks,
Okay.
everyone.
See you at
Bye.
11.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye. Happy holidays. Bye bye.